Sometimes the people we think we know best surprise us in the most unexpected ways. One moment, you're laughing with them, confident that you can predict their every word, and the next moment, something shifts. Something quiet. Something honest. Something real. That's exactly what happened with Kelly and Mark. It was supposed to be an ordinary morning. Bright lights, warm coffee, playful teasing, and that familiar rhythm the two had perfected after decades together. But that day, something was different about Mark. Even Kelly sensed it before he said a single word. He sat up straighter. His usually effortless smile faded into something softer, heavier, more human. A long breath left his lips, the kind that comes only when someone has been holding too much inside for too long. And then, without warning, he said it. My whole life, I've been chasing a version of myself I thought I needed to be. The studio fell so silent that even the audience stopped breathing for a second. Kelly turned toward him, her eyes widening, not in confusion, but in concern, in recognition, as if she was silently asking, "Where have you been holding this?" For the first time in years, Mark wasn't the charming co-host. He wasn't the confident actor. He wasn't the polished gentleman with quick wit and perfect timing. He was just Mark, a man uncovering a truth he had carried alone. He continued speaking, not from a script, not from preparation, but from something deeper. You can have everything, he said, success, family, a loving partner, and still feel like you're trying to prove you deserve it. Every word trembled with vulnerability. And for a moment, the cameras, the lights, the audience, all of it disappeared. It was just two people, married for decades, facing a truth they never fully spoke aloud. To understand what led him to that moment, you must go back before the fame, before the spotlight, before the fans adored them as the ultimate on-screen couple. Mark grew up in a home where hard work wasn't just encouraged, it was expected. His parents, grounded, proud, and humble, taught him that you earn your worth, you don't inherit it, that you stand tall, even when the world gives you reasons to shrink. So when he met Kelly on the set of their early show in the 90s, everything felt like fate handing him a dream he wasn't sure he deserved. She was the rising star, funny, magnetic, adored, and somehow, against all odds, she saw him. Really saw him. Their spontaneous Las Vegas elopement only added to the legend, a whirlwind decision driven by passion and certainty. But even in that wild joy, a tiny voice inside Mark whispered, "Can I really be enough for her?" Kelly's career soared. Talk show host, author, a household name with charisma that could light up New York City. And while Mark celebrated every success she earned, another part of him felt the weight of comparison. Not envy. Never that. Something quieter. Something softer. The fear that loving someone so extraordinary might mean you have to constantly rise to match them. To the world, they seemed effortless. Equal partners, best friends, a power couple who made every task look easy. But at home, in the quiet moments, Mark felt the tug of insecurity. Not because Kelly ever made him feel less, but because sometimes our hearts create shadows where none exist. Still, he kept going. He worked. He reshaped his career. He supported their kids. He reinvented himself over and over. Actor, producer, entrepreneur, but no accomplishment erased that lingering question inside him. And that morning, under the glare of studio lights, everything he tried to outrun finally caught up. Kelly didn't interrupt him. She didn't hide behind a joke. She didn't prepare a witty comeback like she often did. She listened. Her lips pressed together, her hands tightened, and her entire being leaned toward him, not as a host, not as an entertainer, but as the woman who had loved him since the day they crossed paths. When he finished, she spoke softly, but with a conviction that made the room shake. "You have always been enough." 4 simple words. Yet they carry decades of laughter, arguments, children, sleepless nights, celebrations, losses, and every little moment in between. Words spoken from the deepest part of her heart. Later, behind the scenes, they sat together long after the cameras stopped rolling. No makeup touch-ups, no crew, no distractions. Kelly told him something she had never said out loud. I didn't fall in love with the actor or the host or the producer. I fell in love with you, the man who made me feel chosen, the man who looks after our family even when no one is watching, the man who still makes me laugh like a teenager. She reminded him that the worth he was searching for had been with him all along, on the nights he held our kids during storms, on the days he came home exhausted but still asked about her day, in the small gestures that never made it onto TV. And slowly, something shifted inside Mark. For years, critics questioned whether a married couple should work together, whether he was the right fit, whether he could match Kelly's energy. And in the beginning, he tried, maybe too hard. He tried to be perfect, polished, controlled. But after that confession, everything about him changed. He loosened up. He stopped worrying about matching Kelly's speed and found his own. His humor became sharper, freer, his smile more genuine. He let himself enjoy the moments instead of performing them. And viewers noticed. People online shared their own stories, especially men who admitted they had spent years feeling overshadowed by partners they adored. Men who finally felt seen simply because Mark dared to speak out loud what they never could. Even Kelly noticed the shift at home. He was calmer, more present, more himself than he had been in years. This moment didn't break them. It deepened them. Because the truth is, long-term love isn't built on perfection. It's built on choosing each other, even when old fears resurface. Even when your children leave the nest and life forces you to rediscover who you are without them. Even when your partner achieves something monumental and you're quietly wondering where you fit in. Love isn't effortless, but the right person makes the effort feel like a privilege. They had been through everything. Career changes, rising fame, public pressure, raising kids in a world obsessed with appearances. And now they were stepping into a new chapter. One defined not by performance, but by honesty. What Mark thought was weakness became his greatest strength. And what Kelly thought was a casual morning became one of the most intimate moments of their marriage. Their story is a reminder. No matter how long you've been with someone, there is always something new to learn about their heart. No matter how much someone smiles, they may be carrying more than you think. And no matter how strong you appear, vulnerability is never a flaw. It's a doorway, a bridge, a beginning. And if their journey teaches anything, it's that love isn't about proving yourself. It's about allowing someone to see you, even in the moments you'd rather hide. So to anyone listening, whoever you are, wherever you are, let this be your reminder. You don't have to earn your worth. You don't have to play a role. You don't have to outrun your fears. There is someone in your life who already sees the best in you, even on the days when you can't. And sometimes all it takes to change everything is finally saying the quiet truth out loud.